This conference will now be recorded.
Right.
I'm going to call the January 27th, 2025 meeting to order. First order of business is swearing in myself and Councilmember Utani.
All right. Stand up. Raise your hands. I
Hi.
state your name.
Amanda Ferguson.
Matthew Conley,
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Minnesota,
Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of mayor,
the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member,
of the city of New Richland,
of the City of New Richland,
City of New Richland,
county of Waseca,
in the County of Waseca,
County of Waseca,
state of Minnesota,
in the State of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment
to the best of my judgment
to the best of my judgment
and ability.
and ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Fun starts now.
Fun starts now. Roll call, everyone is here. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance next.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda. Is there any
One addition,
changes?
yeah, just one addition. Number 5 under new business, approve EDA grant for Wagner Foods.
Anybody else have anything to add?
A motion to approve the agenda with addition.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval minutes from the January 13th council meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 13th, 2025 meeting.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comments. Anybody, I know we have some that would like to speak. Does anybody else want to speak as well on behalf of anything? Okay. Norman Sharon?
I read your little sign here. Okay, my name is Sharon Eckhart. My husband and I have lived on South Broadway for a number of years, and I hope you had all received our email.
I did.
We feel our streets are safe. We don't have any problems except for a couple speeders that live south a ways. Some sidewalks need repair, which we know. Some have been taken out by a previous council, given permission that 3 families could take out sidewalks, which we were really upset with, being we had been in that business some years back. The problems now, what's going to happen is all the mailboxes have to be removed and put back, and we're not sure by who. Street signs, stop signs have to be removed. On Ash, telephone poles will have to be removed. I've done some checking. I can't find where it says narrow street slow people down. I can't seem to find that, but if you know of some place where I can find that information, I'd be happy if you'd pass it on to me. My husband brought up something that I never even thought of, and I'm not sure if you did. Being a homeowners, we will have to have our property reassessed. Our abstracts will have to be changed, and this is not cheap. We had our property assessed 3 times since we've lived there, and it's expensive. And that's just for our property is legal if we ever want to resell it. So something to think about. Also, it just doesn't make any sense. We do need the underground utilities very bad, and we are concerned about lots of drainage problems. But the rest of the streets we think is silly, just spending money that we don't have. None of the, not most, but a lot of people on South Broadway are retired and live on Social Security, so you realize that is hitting us too, which as well, several of you, when this happens down at your end of town. We don't seem to have a pedestrian problem. I haven't seen any problem with the kids. They like to run on the sidewalks, draw their bikes, roller skate. One thing that maybe we should look into getting a doctor for Richland. I think that's really something we really need. And there's always been one here since I was born. I think these are important things that need to be taken care of. I also heard that the care center needs more help. Somebody was down there and they were having some issues with not enough people working, which is really sad because we've always had a beautiful care center. Also, will this take care of my brown water? I have brown water and I'm not quite sure. I've never had it. The neighbors have had it, but I've never had it up until the last month or so, where it's just it kind of looks like coffee, which is kind of strange. I'm not quite sure why. Also, are we having another open public meeting before you guys decide for sure what's going on? Or have you already decided for sure and we're just being buffaloed? Are we having another one?
Yes.
Open
Yes.
meeting
Yes.
for the public?
Yes.
And you have not decided for sure on what to do with the streets or the sidewalks?
No final has been done.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. I think that's it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Marilyn Meyer, and I've lived on South Ash. It'll be 64 years in March. And when I was first aware of this, Tony told me that bus safety, that was the reason they want to widen that street for 3 feet. The bus drivers are livid. We have a petition made up. I've had it checked with an attorney, so I know in fact, they helped big it up. And the bus drivers even wanted to have a separate sheet to sign so that you know they do not want the street widened. They said it wouldn't be a safety problem, it would be a danger because it'll give the parents 3 more feet. We can't block the street off. Gives them 3 more feet to drive around. It's chaos now. Their suggestion was they think 4th Street should be made a one-way street during school hours. Eliminate all the traffic coming off of Broadway to Ash. That's where the biggest problem is. And then, like they said too, there's no parking on the south side. There shouldn't be any parking on 4th Street at all. It's too narrow. By cars parking on the north side, the public coming off of, or the parents coming off of Broadway to Ash to bring their kids to school, they come to the stop sign, they're pretty in the middle of the street, the buses can't make that corner hardly. Some buses have had to stop and wait for them to get off of 4th Street so that they can make the corner. If you take 3 feet up off our front yards, with everything, there's 8 power poles, there's 2 fire hydrants, there's all the signs. You'd be taking 3 feet off the brand new entrances into the parking lot. And the south entrance, there's a grate right down, and Eric knows that, there's a grate right down on the south side of the entrance. You're going to be taking that out. What's that going to do? What's that going to alter what they did to the parking lot? Because I know there's 2 big tanks they put down, because I live right next to the parking lot. There's 2 big tanks that are down there, and whatever is coming over, if you take that, and I'm sure that was put into code, well then you're changing code. And like Sherry said, I've checked, and I've checked with an attorney, and like he said, city's going to have to assess your property, your abstracts are going to be all off. And he's talked to different ones, made some phone calls, and they said, you know, by taking 3 feet, all that has to be done there's utility boxes along there. You know, if there's utility boxes there, there's wires. There's telephone wires, there's cable, there's internet. All those wires are about 2 feet in from the curb. The company's gonna have to move all those. And then it's gonna bring the traffic 3 feet closer to our houses. And when it's cold, you got all those cars sitting out there. Sometimes when my furnace kicks in, I have to shut the fan off because you're drawing exhaust into your house. It's gonna be worse now if you put that traffic 3 feet closer to our houses. We won't even be able to park. If we have company, you won't even be able to put 4 cars in your driveway. You'd have the bottom 2 would be hanging out in the street. So I mean, what's the sense in? And one person told me his residence, when he added onto his house about 8 to 10 years ago, he was quoted $10,000 to move the electric pole. And like he said, it's still sitting there. So what is it going to cost for each pole now? You're talking way over 100,000 of our wasted tax money just to move the poles. They said, you know what? You figure out everything that has to be done on that 3 feet on the east side of the city. He said, you're going to be talking $500,000. And if you think about it, that's a lot of money to be putting on our taxpayers. We're going to pay plenty as it is. I'm all for doing the street. Nothing's been done to that street since the 80s. I know that everything underneath there, I'm sure all those pipes are bad. And like Sherry said too, I also have brown water. About every 3-4 days, all of a sudden you turn on you don't dare drink the hard water. You turn on your faucet and all of a sudden it's puking coffee colored water. So you waste about 3-4 gallons of water before you got clear water again. What's happening, I don't know. But that's what I have. This petitions. We made some extra copies. We're giving you the copies. We're keeping the originals. I got enough copies that you can, I think there's enough copies there for each one of you. And that's all the signatures. Okay. And I marked it for the bus drivers. They wanted to have a separate one so that we said that way you know we are not in favor of it. So.
There's only one copy of the signatures, so. Do you want?
We'll get it. I'll
I'll
get
get it
it.
afterwards. Thank you, Marilyn. All right.
Okay.
Oh, pretty much everybody knows the one on Norman Court. I live on South Broadway. We were talking about the school. I just drove by there when I came down here now. There's buses parked, but they park parallel to the curb. You park at a diagonal, measure from the curb out to the left rear of the bus and see how much room it takes. Then you worry about backing up with kids walking behind you. You park parallel, you can easily pull out. And what you gotta try and do is, like I said, not allow any stopping, dropping off kids in Middle Street, because there's no crosswalks. And you have people coming from both ends and dropping off kids. No, they pull into the parking lot. We spent $100,000 to park 16 more cars in the south end of that parking lot. When they added on, took out that house and did all that, they can pull into that parking lot, park, they could walk the kids across the crosswalk if they needed to go across the school. From 6 to 6, nobody should be able to allow them to stop and park on that street. Very simple. Very simple solution. You don't have to widen anything because, like I say, parking bus parallels, you've gained 6 feet. They're talking about tearing everything out, making it 4 feet wider. You said, yeah, I went talking about there's how far the telephone poles are. Some of them are only this far away from the curb and gutter. So like you said, you take out all the telephone poles, all the cables, things, plus all the curb and gutter and all that stuff that's already there. You need to replace the ones that are bad. But there's a lot of good curb gutter, except when they put that road in the last time they blocked up. The top of that road is higher than the curb and gutter in the front of that east side of that house. Her house, and Carol's. It goes to the top of her curb. There's no curb and gutter. The blacktop goes over it. So people, when they park on that side of the street, Most of the time they're parking 2 feet up in their front yard. And then another time too, I think they use her driveway as a parking spot, they're running through school. So if it was mine, they're blocking my driveway, then you have flat 4 tires, I'd block them off, until somebody told them when. Because I wouldn't put up with, like, they've had to for years. And you go out there and even ask some people, they give you a dirty look and start giving you a bad mouth because you're asking them to move out of your driveway so you can get out of your garage. And there's been people doing that. I said, she's very nice about it. I mean, I'd be physical about it. Just like I said, and then South Broadway, no, you go down and you park at both sides of the streets, vehicles will meet each other. If you narrow it, you won't be able to do that. And we have all up and down our street in South Broadway, people park on both sides of the street. And somebody wants to go down to the leaf dump, trailer, 8 foot wide, stuff hanging off, they can go right down the middle because there's not that much traffic. The off times, 0 problems. But if you narrow it, now you're gonna have problems with people parking both sides and traffic meeting. You can read cars, but we have a lot of trucks that go to the leaf dump that come down that street, and they take up more than a car, like an extra 3 foot wider at least. So, like I said, I don't see any sense for even have to mess with things, but like I said, yeah, we need to update sidewalks and some of those that have done. I had the engineer came down with my sidewalk, I put it in 40 years ago. I've driven semis, so there's not a crack in my sidewalk, because I put it in, because I do what I'm doing. It's been there for over 40 years. It's better than your sidewalk you got out here that's all cracked. Mine's not, because I have fluids that took out trees, the big semi drive right up over my sidewalk. He couldn't crack them because if the concrete can't move, it can't crack. So he put it in right, which they didn't do here. And over by the post office, that's why it cracked it. Nobody even drives on it. And it's cracked because they don't know what they're doing. So that's my point. Like I said, it'd be a lot of money and a lot of messing with the street. It does not to be needed done. They need to tear out the street, replace the sewer and water, because that's a desperate thing. And the other things that would improve in town, when we have the water coming down from the fields and we get flooded in the spring, is put double culverts all the way through town to get that water out of town. You can't go from 2 culverts down here and try to push it into 1 culvert down here when it starts melting off the fields. That's when we get the flooding. You can dredge it, put in double culverts or put a bigger all the way down through town and then you can fix that problem very easily. But that still takes money. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to tear up streets that don't need to be torn up. Okay.
Thank you, Norm.
Thanks, Norm. Thank you.
All right. We have all the
I
information.
just thought of one more thing that a couple of bus drivers brought up to me. They said, if you want to widen anything, widen it 3 or 4 feet along the playground there. Along that, you know what I'm talking, the south end of the schoolhouse. He said, if you widen that about 3 feet just along there, it'll give the parents that are bringing kids to preschool, there's where a lot of the congestion is. They can pull in. He said, we pull out with the buses, and he said they're getting their kids out on the street side. He said, if they're in another 3, 4 feet, he said, we don't have to worry about it. Because he said the little kids, they've had to sometimes stop because he said they don't have any fear.
No.
And he said they get out of the car, and he said they walk 3, 4 feet out in the street, to go around the car to get into school. He said if they widen that just along there, he said it would take the traffic off the street. And I don't think any of those workers that are employed by the school for the daycare, I think there's plenty of room in the parking lot. If you drive down there and look, there's all kinds of empty stalls. They shouldn't be parking along there at all. They should be if they work for the school, they should use the parking lot, which makes sense to me.
Thank you. All right, so we will take this information that you have brought to us tonight. Like we had said before, there's still going to be another open meeting. Nothing's decided yet. There's still a process of things going forward yet.
Thank you.
Yes, and we'll go from there. Okay. Next thing on the agenda is the Care Center report. Tom?
Evening, everybody. All right. Care Center report for December of '24. We had an average census, as you can see there, of 36.42 people. Our current census today is 37, not 39, my mistake. We had 34 referrals in the month of December. We admitted 11 of them. We had 5 discharges, all to home. And we accepted 12 other people that did not come to our care facility. And then we declined 10 as a result of, like I said before, heavy care, any of the isms that alcoholism, drugism, all that stuff, violent tendencies. And there were a lot of younger people that wouldn't have fit in our community. People typically in their 50s that are going through some very difficult situations. Looking at quality and under operations, we're looking at improving quality of life for the residents, helping people be more engaged in the home and our community. We've got the high school kids coming in on a pretty regular basis now, helping play bingo, playing board or card games and things like that. We had some, I think it was a senior class, came in and they just hung out with the residents for a couple hours. Really pretty neat. Linnell is our activity director. She's come up with some new games to exercise our minds. Every now and again, we started to do some karaoke and sing along, so that's kind of fun. Some of the staff need to loosen up a little bit. I can't do all the singing. So quite a bit of work. Activities with local students, like I said, along with some dynamic personalities, being able to draw our residents to come out and enjoy life among their neighbors. We've got some of that, which is just leftover from COVID when they were quarantined to their room or their hallway. And, I can't go out to watch TV with the other people or eat with the other people. I just stay in my room and watch Bonanza. Pretty popular. So we're trying to get to draw some of those folks out. Our financials, we had a net income last month of $6,600. It was a good month, not our greatest month by any means, but it was a very good month. The census improved from November by an average of 2 residents per day, which is roughly $20,000. And agency use was reduced by about 15% as a result of a number of college students that came home for 2 to 3 weeks through the month of December. They help us out tremendously. Our high school kids that were able to work through the Christmas holidays helped tremendously. So that was great. Agency numbers are still higher than I want, but we've gone down from needing 27 nursing staff to needing about 17 nursing staff right now to be full. So I'm pretty excited about that. We do still need certified nurse aides, full and part-time positions on evenings and every other weekend or holiday. We need RNs and LPNs, full and part-time positions on evenings and overnights, every other weekend and holiday. We can be quite flexible with some of those schedules for those people that work in other areas, may work in a hospital or something like that. You know what? I told one today. I says, I know nurses well. As soon as you get that LPN or RN behind your name, my God, that's good. I'm making more than I did when I worked at Casey's. Should have said that. Whoops. Made more than McDonald's. But now I got a new car. I got to pay for it. And I got to pay for my school. So there's a need and a lust for money that they've got. So if you know anybody here, young nurses, we're looking for them. we can try to be pretty flexible with their schedules. Competitive pay with shift differentials, healthcare insurance, or pay in lieu of benefits. We offer that on a per hour basis. Uniform allowance, life insurance policy, the public employees retirement account, which is a 7.5% match. Phenomenal for retirement. I really want that to be well known. And also, the Nationwide that we just found out about this year. Nationwide is pretty big. I do actually I am on it myself. I just got on it this month, and I've got one nurse looking to get on it for sure by the middle of next month. So pretty excited about that. Other information. Oh, Christmas. Yeah, it happened. It was good. Everybody had a good time. No sickness. It was awesome. So everybody enjoyed the holidays. I think the number of families that we had coming in for the Christmas party on Friday and then the meal on Tuesday was phenomenal. We had a really good turnout this year, so I was happy about that. And then we are beginning to plan for our 50th anniversary this year. 50 years we've been around. So we're going to try to incorporate. I did ask Tony about Farm and City Days. And I think we're going to try to incorporate something around that so we get maximum number of people around. I'd like to have a lot of good things happening. Food, entertainment, wall of history, celebrate the current staff members, and maybe have a wall for our retirees. So, do you guys have any thoughts? Please let me know. On it? They're working on it. They should be done. Okay, probably in March.
When's the deadline?
Well, there's no deadline per se, but our audit can't be done until there's.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We got a lot of them little piddly things in the audit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think March? You're
Yeah.
hoping for March?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I have those coming here for in-service in March, so that.
Okay.
Okay.
We had 3 of them in the building in November, 1 in December, and 2 working on it in January. Looking pretty good. Any questions for me? Thoughts and ideas? Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it.
People service report.
Motion is upstairs.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
Well, it hasn't been really busy out there. I had an issue with the primary clarifier. It's an oil gasket deal on it, and it gets weathered. It is outside. There's no covers or anything like that. So we'll have to get ordered. I made a makeshift, and it will do for now, but it will have to be ordered. I do not know the costs on it. It has to be sent out to Walker, who makes it. So, and another part of that primary clarifier, with our winter weather, just love chopping ice all day long. So it's gotten to the point now where it's about that thick. So you're chopping 6-7 times a day over a railing. So I got the book out and did some research, called around, and that arm should be able to flip over when it's icy out. Because it all runs together. On the bottom there are 2 big arms, deep arms with wings on them. And on the top there's an arm to take off all the floatables. Well, if you shut it off, the bottom doesn't spin, and it's a cone. So everything on the bottom goes into this cone, and then I pull it out with a pump and put it in the digester. If you stop that, everything just piles up, and then you run the risk of throwing out your bottom arms. So I've just been chopping ice, and we're talking the garden hose down in a pit, on a pipe, I mean, it's ridiculous. So the only way to get this top arm to work is to beat off the 2 collars that are on there already. And they're old, they've been on there since the beginning and they haven't been touched. But and they're aluminum, I mean, they're not, a massive amount of money, but to get them old ones off, they're gonna have to get beat off of that arm, get new ones so you're ready. And I'll set it so when I can flip that arm over in the winter and the bottom will keep going and no ice to chip. Because the ice is just, if I'm not here on the weekend, it's piling up and that's what happened 2 weekends ago. So the arm just sat there and just was whamming against this ice and, it'll break a shear pin first, but we do have to do something with this before it does get broke. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I'm trying to think of the easiest way possible to fix this with the least amount of cost, which is the maintenance on this arm. And it needs to be lifted up to where it's supposed to be. It's not level. So it needs to get lifted up and the new collars on there, I've already replaced the squeegee. I did that last week. And those are simple things. I have those things there and I can do that. So I am asking for a little bit of maintenance on that. So it will last, for years to come. And it's just simple bits. But there isn't really quotes for it. It's from the place where we got it. So there isn't really quotes that you can go get. So.
Do they have an amount though that they can tell you what it would cost?
Yeah, I can give you those amounts before it has to get done. But this is maintenance that has to
Sounds like
be
it needs
done.
to be done soon.
Soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can't keep doing this
Well,
every
then it's-
winter. So, it's just simple maintenance that hasn't been done and it needs to get done. So it's either that or you're gonna have to put a dome over it. So if we do this, it's gonna be a lot cheaper than a dome. So that is one huge issue out there, and you guys should come out and look and see, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain, but
think
you
I've
definitely
seen
need to see it, yeah. You definitely need to see it.
Yeah.
So, getting the quotes for the safety grates for the lift stations, those should be in this week. So that has to be.
We could have those for the next meeting to approve then for the safety
Do
grade.
you have any idea of what they're gonna come in or any?
I've gotten one, not
What
the
is
other
it?
one.
What is the bulk? What is that one thing? What did the one come in at? Do you know?
62.
100?
Yeah.
I
For
would like-
two.
For
grades.
two?
For
For two grades.
I would like that approved tonight
Okay.
because.
It's an
those-
issue.
Yeah.
Safety OSHA.
Yeah. Because I have to go back out there and somebody's gonna have to come there
Yeah,
and
so if
sit
we can
outside
get,
of
if we
it.
get approval for up to 7,000 for those.
Yeah, I think
we'll
it's
just go
62.
With the
With
lowest
the
one.
cheapest.
I probably brought it.
that would come in. Cause those need to be fixed for the lift station. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's a
very
safety.
important safety issue.
It is definitely.
Do we have
it's
Any
sketchy.
other issues out there for safety, for things that need to be repaired? I know. I've seen some of it.
Let's
That's why I'm
let's
asking.
not. There's the one.
'Cause we should somewhat
You
put a
want my
list together
list?
for future too, so we
Oh,
can
yeah,
prepare.
I do have a list for
Okay.
all the future stuff. That definitely is not, when they built that was a long time ago and
Is that-
it wasn't made. That's the one.
Is that delivered or is that,
That's installed.
oh,
That's
Still
installed.
so then just,
Two
just-
grates and installed.
yeah, just up to 6,100 then. Cause they'll
So
have to be
moved.
cheaper than that.
Yeah, and these are all retrofitted. I mean, everybody's, there's only 2 companies that make these hatches, so it's pretty cut and dry.
We got a motion from Jody and second from Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It'll save my life, so.
And then for the arm, are we all wanting
We'll
to get
wait,
an
we'll wait.
adjustment
Yeah,
to get
I'll just give you
pricing?
the numbers
Okay.
and then give you the numbers if we had to replace the arm. So, the motor alone is 65,000.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's not fixed.
Let's not
yeah,
fix that
I don't
one.
wanna
Let's
do
not
it
replace the
either,
vacuum.
because that would just put me out of, that'd be more work for me having that done.
I'll probably look you up on Friday.
Yeah, come out there and, yeah, check it out. Yes, definitely.
That's across the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me, it's
Might
hard
be
to
frozen.
explain.
Forge of the river.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
little
Probably
bridge,
making right now.
get across.
Just skate.
The only other thing, I had an issue with the diaphragm pump, but I think I got that all straightened out
Okay.
with the guy up over the phone, so that saved us some cash, so that was good, and I tore it apart. Brandon did have to come out, and we had to pump that pit out,
Mhm.
but I put it right back into a digester pit, so we didn't have to haul it through town or nothing like that, so. And there's a sheet that I need you to,
I was looking,
yeah,
I gotta read it, but I
It
didn't.
just
That's
says,
fine.
it just says that
You
we
can-
participate in the cleaning and televising
At
program.
the
and we
sewer.
do.
Oh, sure.
yeah. Otherwise, I get dinged on my side if I don't have that.
Okay.
So, and yes, we do participate in it.
Okay.
And otherwise, yeah, it's just busy with that kind of winter stuff and trying to get winter stuff done. But yes, I do encourage you all to come out and take a little tour. It's a lot of walking and a lot of stairs, I'm just warning you know. So, but it's, huh?
Be a nice week for
Yeah.
This would be the
This
week-
would
this
be
one
the
would be the
week,
warm
yeah.
one, yeah.
This
This week
would
would be
be
a
the
nice week
week,
to do that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Years ago.
but yeah. Otherwise, it's going well. All of our tests are coming back fabulous, so
Perfect.
there's no issues. So, but do you have anything for me?
I just appreciate you going through and being thorough with everything out
Oh,
there
yeah.
and keeping us informed so we
Yeah.
can keep the longevity of the plant we have.
Those items with maintenance, they should last you for a very long time unless there's a part that you buy that's the cheapest part on earth and it snaps in half as soon as you put it in, which I don't like that.
Right.
Yep.
You're gonna buy a part, buy a
High
good
quality.
part that's gonna last.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
nothing else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Tours,
Tours is
Yeah.
the word.
all right? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah.
Motion to approve people service report.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eric,
Hi, everyone.
hi.
We'll start out with the Christmas lights. Tore them down. They're starting to get a little rough. Just letting everyone know. I don't know if there's something we want to start looking into. Put new tires on the old truck. Is what we actually did is we switched them. We put the new tires on the new truck and put the tires on the new truck on the old vehicle. Got our first snow day on December 19th. And this stayed away since, so. I don't have the date on this one, but the motor went out on the circulator pump in the water tower. Had Delane come out and replace it immediately. So I did order another circulating pump with pump and the recirculator part is all 2 chunks. Just so it's on hand for next
If
time,
something
'cause
happens.
it will go again.
Yeah.
It's, let's see, then, Tony, Heather, and I went to Mapleton for NOSHA safety training, on the 15th. That went really well, but we had a lot of things we had to start looking into. So we have to get into
Mhm.
more, safety stuff, colors,
We have most of the stuff
Yeah.
in place, it's just that our stuff is really
outdated, so.
Stuff like harnesses and.
Harnesses, safety jackets, gloves, all the even little things.
Yeah.
Eyewear for people that don't wear glasses and so. And then, Braden, went to St. Cloud for some training. He was there for 3 days. Oh, and then shop doors weren't working right, just in one of them. So we had Prime out of Waseca come down and fix it. Look, it works really good. Now it goes up, down, nice and easy. For that, do I have any questions?
What was the training that Braden went for?
What's that?
What was the training that Braden went for?
D license.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's a really good one. I went to it
How long before he's done with it?
with.
To get the license?
Okay, I think he went for his D this time, and it'll be, I think he's got to wait 1 year to get 2 years. 3 years. 3 years. to Get the C.
Isn't that what you did?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yep. But I'd been here for 10 years, so I got exempt into jumping in quicker.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep. Last year we had JNR utility service come in, and they went through and worked on a lot of our gate valves, and they started on the southwest part of town, and I'd like them to come back and start pretty much from north side now, south or northwest part of town. We kind of talked about, we kind of just do it in sequences. So just wonder if I can get him back.
For 3 days, you wanna? If you can.
For a week would be nice.
Nice
But yes,
try.
last year you said 3 days, so that's what you went by. I did
What
go
is
a
that
little
they
bit,
do?
not much. But
What is that
Exercise
they
all the
do?
gate valves.
exercise
Okay,
all
I
the gate
remember
valves
that.
and
Because didn't a couple of them break last time?
we found a couple broke
Couple
with him.
broken.
Yeah. No. He didn't physically break them.
All right.
They were just wore out, and we did replace 2 of them last year.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
You have about $3,600.
Do you want that right now?
That's for 3 days. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have that number for you. And then Zarnath Brushworks, Disney Parks. This is brooms and stuff we ask for every year. So, and then the last one would be the pressure washer. With all this salt and debris and stuff, we've been kind of wanting a hot one for a long time. We've always had a cold pressure washer. So I gave you 3 choices there. And they're all three pressure washers are about the same. They're all within $100 to $200.
When was the last time you bought one?
Never had a hot
Well,
one.
we've got a pressure washer.
Yeah, but it's just been a cheap,
Cold one. Oh,
hot
gotcha.
Home Depot special. It's never been,
So we can't compare.
no.
How long do they expect this to last? 10 years?
Oh, they'll last.
Commercial.
They're commercial fire, they're commercial ones, like
Okay.
the one that's back in the fire hall, they'll last for, are they kerosene then?
Yeah, or
Do both.
diesel.
Okay.
Number 1 diesel.
Can I have your old one?
Yes, absolutely.
She's calling
Do you have a preference?
Did you look at all those, is that from the place over in Blooming then?
No, they're actually one from, okay, let's start over. Express Pressure Wash is out of Blooming Prairie. So that's their Alcoa.
Okay.
Hot Sea is out of Mankato. And then, no, sorry. Hot Sea's out of Iowa. And then this last one, I don't know how to say the name. They're out of Mankato. So,
Express is-
so it's all within.
The one the fire department bought the last time, I think they bought from Express, and they've always been treated very well by them.
O'Connor folks, is that?
That's the
Yeah.
old O'Connors,
Yeah.
yes.
They've always done a really nice job and have always treated them very well when it comes to service and stuff too, so.
Yeah, they do a good job.
So. We'll need approval on all those things separately.
What was the bill you came up for with the JNR?
3,600.
I'll make a motion to have JNR come out and do the service for 200?
3,600.
$3,600.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then there'll be Zarnath for
Yeah.
the sweeper.
I'll make a motion for the Zarnath Brush Works sweeper parts of $1,346.60.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You want express pressure washer, you prefer that because you've dealt with them before, correct?
Fire department.
Yeah,
They're
I
also
just,
the cheapest.
they're
And
local.
they're local
bid.
too.
Oh, I didn't even look at that.
Yeah, they're
I just
blue.
figured if you like
Blue
them,
Prairie.
go with them.
That's close.
I'll make a motion, we go with express pressure washer for $59.20 and no cents.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Hey, Eric, excuse me,
Yep.
she said that you gotta refurbish the men's bathroom here to make it, it's not handicap accessible? Is the
Well,
woman's handicap accessible?
It's kind of on our wish list thing for this year. We're looking for grant items at the moment. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
just the first initial crack at it estimate.
I just saw the quote at the bottom.
Yeah, when we had to do this 140-page ADA assessment on City
Right.
Hall, we found out that we're kind of close to being on the edge of not being ADA accessible. So when we started looking at stuff a little closer, we decided, and especially the men's bathroom is the facilities themselves, the bathrooms themselves, the urinals and stuff are disgusting, to be completely honest, and they need to be replaced anyway. So speaking with Eric and our talking is we would kind of like to get rid of one of the urinals, put a nice new urinal in there, bump out that stool, make a nice big handicap accessible one with a nice handicap
Right.
accessible stool.
You can get a wheelchair in there, yeah.
Exactly, and then kind of make a nice big handicap accessible thing, and then obviously we do the same thing with the women's restroom as well. So just in the beginning phases of trying to get some funding to do that, but that was the initial bid for the men's side of the.
Are the
There's
doors?
one thing that's not on there, and that's the partition,
Yeah,
and they get kind of expensive.
the petition is about $2,000 is what that is.
Right.
But the reason we started with that is because of the stool and the urinals themselves, and that do need to be replaced sooner than the ones in the female bathroom. So that's why we kind of started with that.
Kind of makes sense.
So,
Are
but
the-
that's kind of on our just wish list.
Are the doors even ADA?
Yeah,
wide?
we're at the very bare minimum to be
Okay.
accessible for ADA.
Don't we have any budget surplus money left over from last year we could put towards that?
I would rather get a grant to pay for it than to
Really?
use any of our
Okay, if
own
you
money.
can, that'd be great, but if
Yeah.
you can't,
Yeah.
we'd rather have that than face a bunch of, flack from
We're
someone.
not in violation of anything.
Okay.
So
all right,
we're fine.
Right,
We're not in.
and I'd say
This
do
is-
both of them.
Yeah, this is just while we're upgrading stuff, we want to be ADA compliant. So that's
Well,
the thought
totally,
process
Totally
behind it.
get that.
If you find a grant, will you try to write it for that you
Oh,
do
yes,
both?
no,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. That's the intention of the whole.
This
That's,
hasn't-
that's why we started getting quotes, is because I want to know how much it's going to be in order to
Write the grant.
the whole process.
Right.
So.
Be
But that's-
nice to be an upgrade for when people
love
do
that.
rent the community
Exactly.
center too.
Yeah. We did start by we needed new hand soap and towel dispensers, so we already did upgrade those minor things, and then we did buy the same thing for here, the lake, the library, so that everything's the same across everywhere. So we're buying the same paper towels, we're buying the same soap dispensers, we're buying the same thing all the way across everything that we
So
have.
how does that tie into the bottom down there with Poland's Plumbing and Heating?
That's just for the
Sink faucet.
the sink
urinal.
faucet and stool stuff.
But we need that already, it's not part of this.
No, we don't need that right now. That's just his planning.
No, I mean, the Poland one we need.
Not right at the
No,
moment.
not
We're-
right now.
No.
Okay.
That's just kind of in a ballpark so he can write a grant to see what it would cost.
So,
All right. Sorry.
And then we did just throw this in here so that you could kind of see, this was put together after the last public hearing. So this is just, it's gonna be very hard to see up here, but due to the overwhelming public input on Broadway was realigned to 40 feet. I think there's no intention to drop it down. It will remain 40 feet based on the engineer's plat. And then you can see the alignment of Fourth. As of right now, Robert, we're trying to protect all your trees the best as possible. And Ash Avenue at the moment is as it was aligned during the public hearing, but we have a meeting with the school and attorneys, and then after your comments tonight, we'll discuss that, and obviously there'll be still more conversations before final plans are done. So this obviously still is not final. This was drawed, what an awful word. This was drawn about a week after the original public hearing that you guys attended, so this is already way after the fact, so.
And we haven't talked to the school.
Yeah, we have not
So
talked to the
we're
school
not-
about anything too, so. We'll talk to the school and bring all this information to the engineers as well. So this is just so that they could see what had been transpired since, so. Yeah, so. That's what Eric's got for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
I'll make a motion, accept the street and maintenance report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unfinished business, council meeting discussion.
I just wanted to bring up, you guys had, well, initially before hang on a sec, who, you would, initially before the first of the year, there was talk about going down to one meeting. I just threw it back on there because we had talked. So Jan, I know you had some thoughts on that, so I'll let you make that conversation.
I guess my thought is with all the street project discussions that we may have or whatnot, keeping the meetings to a month yet, but we could always at one of the meetings decide if we didn't need something next month, we can always announce that we're closing one of the
Can you do
meetings.
that?
As long as we provide
Enough
public
Enough
notice that we're
notice.
canceling the meeting, we can cancel the meeting going
Yeah.
forward.
What is the timeline that we would have to?
Just sufficient, the official word is sufficient public notice.
Okay, got it.
So I would say that as long as we're giving, I would prefer to give at least a month notice to our general public that we're canceling a meeting if we're gonna cancel a meeting. So,
Do we foresee the meetings now taking more than an hour and a half? I mean,
our meetings regularly lately have been taking no longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
I would think that you could potentially get more work done with a longer meeting once a month as opposed to just devil's advocate wise.
And we'd have more presenters than we do now. We'd have 3 more.
yeah, you'd have to have all your department heads come
Right,
to one
right.
meeting instead of split them up. Then you'd also have to decide, if you want it to be the second meeting or the fourth meeting, and I think it would probably make the most sense to be the second
Yeah,
meeting,
so you
because
got
the
time
fourth
to do it
meeting
the
would
rest
be
of the
too late to
Yep.
do stuff.
Same
Yeah,
with
but would you
the
have time to get the financials done if we
Yeah.
had the second?
Yeah,
Okay.
No, Bob?
No. My financials don't get done until about the 23rd or
Yeah,
24th.
see.
so.
Yeah,
I don't care either way, so, if you wanna,
that's why I came up with the idea.
we could definitely wait, and we could definitely wait until we're through bonding out that project, which would be April, so.
We could always talk about maybe summer not having as many meetings because we might not have as much to discuss by that point, or we might, if the project's going forward, we might have more stuff as well. We just don't know.
I'm happy to table it, or take it off completely.
I kind of like the mayor's idea.
and
Right,
announce
by
it.
April.
Like the first meeting of each month, we would determine if we're gonna, the next month, have one or two. Does that
Then
sound?
according to Bob, we'd have one every month, because he needs the second month,
Yeah.
or second meeting.
Yeah,
Or we
Unless
could
it would be a
alternate
month and
them
a half
then.
behind. 2 months
I'd rather
behind.
not do that.
Would that be a big deal if it was a half a month behind? You know, you did it in the first week, but it was last month's. No. Well, then that works.
Or he attend, Matt attends the care center report and then his job is to present that at the meeting. The financials from the previous month,
Because I would like to go down to one.
so.
All right.
Taylor?
Up to you guys. What are your thoughts?
I'll make a motion to go down to one meeting a month. The first week, or second Monday of the month. Is there a second on
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay?
Nay.
Nay. All right, so
It's 3-2,
3-2, so it goes down to one meeting, Okay.
effective when?
effective when?
It's
Does
gotta be
anybody
next
wanna make a
month. It's gotta
motion?
be next month.
Okay. Can't be any but.
Okay, so then I will make notice to the paper then.
Don't we have to change something in our organization or something?
All you have to do is, I'll check with the attorney.
Okay.
But according to what I'm aware of is that, the way that everybody has been handling it is they've been just making it through cancellation of meetings notices to the public.
Okay.
So, but I will check with Jason.
Okay.
Just for clarity, it's the second month, or second
Second
Monday of
meeting.
every month now.
No, the second Monday.
Second month.
Yeah, first meeting. Our normally scheduled first meeting of the month. I get where you're going with that. but yeah.
And no second,
Yeah, unless we,
until we change it.
or if we need to have another one, correct? We can always add one.
That makes sense.
All right. All right. New business, December 2024 check register. Did anybody have any concerns?
I got mine answered.
Jumped out.
Yeah, I got them answered.
I see there's a return payment in here, is it? Was the customer charged for the return payment? From the state bank on the,
5305.
Yeah, so, it's a bookkeeping
Okay.
thing, so when we get a return payment, one account has to be credited and one has to be debited, and so it's just how that works out.
We do have a fee though, that if somebody,
Yeah,
right.
Oh, I see one I didn't see. Trizetto provider.
that is ambulance billing stuff.
I'm surprised.
Excuse me, we're gonna go.
You're good.
you're
Yeah,
good.
we're good.
Fine.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No,
You're
yeah.
good. Thanks for coming.
Thank you
Yeah,
for your time.
thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. What's this Guggisburg, $330?
Which page?
It'd be the fourth one down, sorry, first page.
I don't know, I'd have to ask Heather, I'm sorry.
Okay. It's 5297E.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Heather, sorry. Off the top of my head.
That's 57, 52. Oh, you're down.
I saw it.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about.
Other than that, let's see.
Is it a person?
I don't think that's the last name.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Guggenberg.
I don't know if it's like
Town.
Feel or something.
Good.
I'll make a motion to accept the check register.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
December 2024 financials.
I would like to point out that we took in 95% of our budget, only spent 86% of our budget.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, look at that. We had
That helps for those unexpected.
I mean, that's not, we're not,
got another surplus.
there's obviously there's still some stuff that's gonna, through the accounting process is still gonna
Change that.
change that eventually, but I feel like that, you know, just shows that we're doing a good job managing our money. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Keep that up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anybody have any?
I don't. I didn't see Tony.
Go Herring.
I didn't hear here.
Yeah,
So
I
did
said Tony, of course.
Marcus Day.
Yeah.
Have we switched over to the new ambulance collection?
Not yet.
Okay, well, it's in the process.
Yeah,
Okay.
they need, I think there's 60 days is transition period.
There was no changing fees, were there?
Mhm.
I thought.
It's 60-day notice for the other company that we have to notify that we're leaving.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I'll make a motion that we accept the year-to-date financials.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve training for chief of police.
Denise would like to attend the Cleveland Command Academy it's actually at,
Camp Ripley is where it's at.
thank you,
Yes.
What's Cleo?
Chief Law Enforcement Officer. But it's actually a 5-day training, so it's actually a 40-hour training.
Oh, that's right.
All lodging, all meals are included for $825.
They do that on the north edge of the
Yeah,
post.
so it's,
Yeah.
it's the dirt cheap.
Barracks. I
And
remember it.
it covers all state, federal mandates, data practices, policy development, strategic management, and all the post-board training stuff. So it's actually pretty dirt cheap training
That is
Yeah.
for the course.
for lodging and meals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I went to it and it
Can I go
was, it was absolutely wonderful training. So, and it is training, or it is budgeted in the training thing, and it is eligible for reimbursement. So.
Make a motion to approve the training for the chief of police.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, petition for zoning change to parcel. We need to set a date.
Yep, so, this is for the event center. They have requested to change the parcel from an R1 designation to a C1 designation. So planning and zoning met on Thursday night, discussed the, change. All members were present, which was wonderful. But we discussed, the designation. Long story short, it was a church. R1 is the current designation. A church is a conditional use of the R1 designation. In order for it to be an event center, it needs to be changed to a C1. You can see in the staff report that the Planning and Zoning Commission does support changing it to a C1 district. The only concern that they possibly had was parking, but they believe that the Hagens have that addressed satisfactorily and don't believe there may be any concerns with that. So I would request the council set for public hearing 2/24/25 at 6:35 p.m., giving me enough time to notify the parcels that surround that the public hearing so that we can have that on the 24th.
Did the Hagens have a plan for alternative parking if it does become a problem already in place?
Yep.
Or it's set in stone of what they would have?
Well,
for
it's not
that?
set in stone, but they have a plan in place should they need to address that issue. Yes.
So if you're changing that to 2/24, that'd be a month from today, correct, roughly?
The meeting.
It'd be at our
But we're
next-
not gonna we won't have a meeting that day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a.
We have to do the March.
So then then it would have to be, then you can change it to March, whatever. I didn't think you were gonna change that. So March 10th.
March 10th.
So it would be March 10th, 2025 at 6:35 p.m.
Okay.
Just give me more time.
Yeah, it's actually better to get it mailed. It sometimes takes longer to mail anything nowadays. Okay.
All right, I make a motion for the petition for zoning change to parcel that is set for March 10th, 2025 at 6:35 p.m.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Thank you for catching that. I appreciate that.
Yep.
All right, EDA approval.
Wagner Foods, had a EDA grant for their banner, their new awning.
That's already done, yeah.
It's gonna be redone.
It's gonna be redone, because Sign Pro screwed up and installed the wrong one.
I was there the day they put it in.
So.
I was there too.
It's the wrong font.
It's the wrong font and some other stuff.
Oh, it's upside down too.
Oh,
So, they applied for the grant, was approved by the EDA, and it is completed work, so it is 1/3 of the project, up to $3,000, so looking for approval to, $2,065.29.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Miscellaneous, 2025 Local Board of Appeal Equalization.
Just a notice for everyone that New Richland's Local Board of Appeal and Equalization is scheduled for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025 from 1 p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. And that is to, if you want to reduce the value of your property or increase the value of your property, or talk about your assessments. This is done at the county assessor's office. If you want to do that, you have to contact the assessor's office ahead of time in order to be heard. So that is just a notice.
Administrator's report.
I worked with Houston, and our flood grant has been submitted with the state of Minnesota. Continue to work with Bolton and Mink on the street project.
What was the dollar amount on that grant?
Don't remember off the top of my head without looking at this stuff. I want to say, if I remember correctly,
Hundreds of
cost
thousands?
share was 10%, and I think the cost share was 7,400, so probably 74,000-ish, something like that. Continue working on the audit with Abdo. Planning and zoning meeting, we attended the first regional safety committee. Currently reworking all of our safety and OSHA policies, ordered safety extra maintenance. Actually talked with Shannon Sweeney today, talking about the bond issue for the 2025 street project. We'll be meeting with the school and our city attorney on street project items next week. I also have our league workers' comp audit this week. And then employee anniversary is Jaden Surratt on the ambulance for 3 years. And then birthday is Brett Cully and Eric Hendrickson. And that's what I got for you.
Hey.
Make a motion to approve the administrator's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody for council comments? Okay,
I have nothing.
anybody want to adjourn? No, you don't?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm not afraid.
Aye.
Nay.
I'm afraid to say it. Jason won't though.
Nope, I won't.